Hello and welcome to a new episode of Be the Hero of Your Brand. I'm Ben and Rachel's not here right now, so I thought I'd come on here, carry on with the podcast, and I thought I'd answer some questions so you can find out a bit more about me, or maybe I can help you with some hints, tips or advice. Now, I am the guy who does the video stuff behind your video team. I'm usually behind the camera, not that often in front of it apart from the podcast, and we want to make sure that we're not missing an episode. So yeah, I'm here doing this and giving you some hints and advice. Got a list full of questions to go through, and you never know, you might learn something new, you might find out something about me, and it might just be of interest for you. So let's get into the questions. So the first question is, how do you keep a solo episode engaging for people to watch? Now, usually it is me and Rachel on here. We will be bringing in guests in the future, but this is the very first solo episode of Be the Hero of the Brand. Am I going to be engaging enough for you to keep attention? Now, there are certain things that I am doing on here to try and keep you engaged, looking at the camera, maybe even stop you from turning it off. I am moving my body. I have open body language. I am trying to make it more inviting for you to watch. I've got a couple of cameras going, so I have 1-2 cameras filming me. This is so I can cut between mistakes, getting rid of those ums and ers, big pauses, stuff like that, but also ensures that it keeps a flow. It could also be about the content that you're making. Are you telling stories? Are you giving advice? Are you being entertaining? Are you engaging with the way that you sound, you talk? Are you being that extra 10%, 20% that you need to be so your personality doesn't drop on camera? Are you making eye contact with the camera and not looking at a screen where you're on it? Can you engage with your audience that way? These are all things that you can do to help make it more engaging. But really, the most important bit is the content. Again, going back, are you storytelling? Are you entertaining? Are you educating? That's the most important bit. Are you doing a mixture of all three? So this is a Q&A. I'm being asked questions. I'm giving you answers. It can be each of those things, especially when you go into deeper questions. It might be a bit more personal questions about me, which you could find interesting and intriguing, a bit entertaining. But it could be that you're testing my knowledge. Again, this is an educational question. It's asking me how to be more engaging. Other things you can do is break the episode down into segments. This is so that things are consistently moving, but changing, but try and keep it all around the same sort of theme. Again, this one being a Q&A sort of thing. I can be in different spaces if I wanted to, and yeah, it could be interesting. How fast is your talking is quite key as well. Talking too fast so they don't understand what you're saying can be a problem. However, talking too slow can make you appear flat and unenergized. So a couple of things to think about there when you're doing a recording on your own. Question number 2. What is the easiest type of video a business can create with minimal equipment? So to be honest, the only piece of equipment that you need is a phone. And I am using a phone today for this podcast as a second angle. This one right here, to be precise. Now, I have things to help me with this. So I'm using a gimbal to help me capture content. So I'm using the gimbal to help me capture some content as well. This can be used when walking around, so doing a tour of a business, kind of getting some behind the scenes sort of content. It depends on the goal of the video for your business. Are you looking to introduce a team? In that case, do an about us and about XYZ business and introduce some of the team members, talk about your processes that you have in place, talk about your beliefs, your goals, why people should be working with you. These are all stuff that you know the answer of. You probably do them in a 60-second pitch. So if you can do it in a 60-second video, then you've got it for everyone to see. Put it on your website so people know a bit more about you and start seeing that engaging content that people want to start seeing, and so they can start know, like, and trusting you. If you are selling a product, what about a how-to product? How to use this product kind of video. One where you show people the best tricks to get the best out of a set of headphones, or how to use a certain program if you have a program. Do those things that customers will look for before they buy, so they know that the product is right for them. About us videos, about products, who we are kind of things is worthwhile starting off because you know those answers already. The other thing you could do is record a conversation. Maybe it's on a Zoom call or something like that, but you might need a customer's permission first, but why not record and share how your conversations go so people can see that process in place as well. Bit of a behind the scenes, how things work, and yeah, it can be very engaging for people to see that sort of content. Question 3, what's been your most embarrassing moment while filming? Now, before I started doing corporate videos, video podcasting, and working with other businesses, I did develop through the wedding industry. I started off as a photographer, and then I went to video through weddings, and that's probably where I had my most embarrassing thing happen to me. Now, I was a photographer at a wedding, so it wasn't actually filming, and I very much regretted my wordings of this. I didn't do anything where I fell over and fallen in puddles or anything like that, but we were arranging the photos, the group shots, and you have a routine from this. So you have the biggest group, then get rid of friends, just family, get rid of wider family, and then bring it in. And then I was like, oh, is your talking to the bride's mum, and go, okay, mum, do you want to come in and have a photo with your daughter? And she turns around to me and goes, that's my sister. At that point, I just wanted the world to swallow me in whole. And I was like, I am so sorry. I should have known this, but it was a last minute wedding that I didn't have time to do your normal meetings. And yeah, it was that was probably my most embarrassing thing, and definitely felt awkward thereafter trying to talk to family members of the bride. But they saw the funny side of it in the end. However, at the moment when it happened, it was a bit like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But all good. Next question. So, how do you make talking on camera feel natural? To be honest, it's very difficult to say this is how you make it feel natural. Everyone is different. You're talking to an inanimate object that gives you nothing back. And we thrive off that kind of interaction with people. We want to have the feedback. We're trying to figure out, am I saying the right thing? I hope that they're enjoying this. I hope it's engaging. I hope it's fun. But we all have those doubts in our brain that go, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't got a clue. You're saying it wrong. Someone's going to figure you out. The truth of the matter is, there may be people who are further ahead than you, but why worry about them? You don't need to teach them stuff. Worry about the people behind you. Worry about the people you want to work with. You're teaching them. And you have your ways of doing things. So that kind of loss of confidence on camera does go away. Making it natural is, bear in mind, you're not talking to everyone. You're talking to one person, the right person for you to be talking with. That's who your videos need to be aimed at. And that's who you should remember you're talking to. If you think you're talking to everyone, firstly, it's not as engaging for people to hear you say, hello everyone, welcome back. You want to direct it to one person. This is for you. This is what you want to hear. Use that kind of language. You, yours, not them, they, and you lot. It's just you. It's one person. I'm talking to one person, and I'm trying to picture the camera as a person. Other things that you can do to help you feel a bit more natural is maybe try and record with someone in the room, whether they're on camera with you or behind the camera, to give you a reaction, give you some feedback, give you that kind of confidence boost as you're doing it. But most important thing to do is practice. Like, I was really awkward when I started off on camera, thinking I didn't know what I was talking about. I wasn't as bubbly on camera. I felt really flat when I was doing it, let alone when I saw it afterwards. And I was like, oh, I have no personality whatsoever. So it is a challenge that you have to face, but it's a challenge worth facing. And I think if you go through the battles of going, people are going to figure me out, they're going to think I'm wrong, I'm going to get the kickback, that will actually make you work better at planning your videos, make you better at knowing your answers, make you better product at the end of the day of your video content. So yeah, practice, plan, just repetitiveness, really. There you go. I'm not always the best, most natural person on camera, but I'm definitely a lot better than what I was. So take that as what you will. What should people know about mic placement? Of course, working with podcasts. Now, I'm out in the fields. I'm not at the office today, so I haven't got all the equipment that I usually use. I have got a microphone just here that's recording the sound onto the phone, and I will link them together afterwards. So the most important thing is that your mic is as close as it needs to be of the best quality. And there's a few different mics that do different things. You've got shotgun mics that are good from about 3 foot away, pointing at you, could be off camera. You've got lapel mics that need to be nice and close, but they pick up everything around. But mainly focus on the person that's closest to that microphone. We use microphones which sound really nice when up close to the speaker, gets all the tonal range. So each mic has different things. However, you do want to make sure that it's not on the other side of the room. The room isn't echoing and all the sound is trying to get to that mic that's on the other side of the room. So have it nice and close. Have it a fist distance away, a thumb to finger distance away from your mouth. Have it just off camera, again, pointing towards your chest and mouth kind of areas where you want your microphone to be pointing, because that will pick up more of the full range and not have plosives happen. Plosives are where you pronounce P's, T's and S's, and it's really harsh sounds that come out of your mouth. So you can prevent them with a pop shield. However, if you don't have a mic pointing directly at where your breathing is, it will sound a lot better, cut out a lot of those plosives. Even putting like a muff on the microphone as well also helps prevent plosives. Like I say, pop shield, that kind of stuff. They're things to consider when you're putting a mic in place. Listen out for plosives. Always run a test as well. Test to see if there's any background noise, plosives, buzzing, anything like that. But also that it sounds good quality when you hear it back. And I would recommend when you do test it with headphones or high quality speakers and not AirPods. Next question. What are some simple ways to make video podcasts visually more interesting? Now, the first one is to have multiple cameras. This could be, if you're a solo person, have a close-up and a wide. You could be having an interview, so each person has their own camera, and you could have a wide of both people in shot. Same with if you're doing round tables with, say, 4 people, you might give them a camera each, or you may give it these 2 people on this camera, these 2 people on that camera, and then cut between the camera angles. This does make it more interesting for people to watch. You could also think about if you're bringing facts and figures into it, or if you need to introduce B-roll. B-roll is additional shots over what is called A-roll, the main footage. So what I'm talking to camera now is the A-roll, main footage, me talking, and then B-roll is, you might see I might lay over a shot of me doing work at a laptop, filming a background behind the scenes. Again, things that help enhance the storytelling, but also ensures that you are creating more dynamic shots. The other thing you could do is try and add some movement into your shots. This could be with a slider, which you can get electronic ones for. It could be you walking around. However, you don't want to be moving around too much. You would probably want to use a gimbal. You could just kind of, depend if you have it structured in the way that you have. I'm going to have a table location for this conversation, then you talk about something else and it's at a different location in the room. It might be at a desk, at a laptop, it might be a change of background. Lighting also helps with this. Having an engaging lighting, maybe you bring colours into your backgrounds and make the shot a bit more interesting to look at. Even just having a lamp on, just something interesting that catches the eye, which adds a bit of depth. Try not to be too close to a wall. I'm relatively close right now due to the space that I'm working in, really. But you can, if you can distance yourself from the background, again, it makes a shot look a bit more professional, a bit more interesting and engaging. Add colours and stuff to the background. Things that are your personality that you'd want to talk, what things you'd want to include. Next question is an interesting question. What's it like working with Rachael? Best and most challenging bits. Now, you may not know this, you may know this. If you've met us in the past, we've probably told you. Rachel and I have worked together for, well, probably over 15 years now in a capacity of another. So we met working together when we were both working at Pizza Hut. Rachel did join the police for a bit and left that, and we started our own businesses from then with events companies, wedding photography, like I mentioned earlier, as well as a cleaning company. And the best thing about it is that I'm getting to work with my best friend, the person I enjoy spending more time with than anyone else apart from maybe my children, and sometimes more than my children. But it does come with its challenges, because you don't want to upset the apple cart all the time. You don't want stuff to come home with you from work, and if you have issues at work, does it affect personal life? It can, of course it can, but it's not like we allow it to eat into our time with the kids. It doesn't allow us to eat into time with having our personal time, watching films, enjoying each other's company. However, we both really enjoy working, enjoy running this business, enjoy your video team, enjoy doing the podcast, and I get to do it with my best friend. We can't ask much better than that, and that is the best thing about it. So yeah, we're still learning, we're still developing, and it's great to have that person with us, with each other, supporting each other, having our contacts know who we are. We're kind of an all-in-one package. We come together, work together, play together. It is a life that I wouldn't change in the slightest. And yeah, a lot of people say, I don't know how I could work with my partner. I don't think I could imagine working with anyone else in a better way, to be honest with you. But that's just me. Next question. What is the worst bit of video advice I was given? I think the worst bit of advice I have been given is that it should be quality over quantity. Because yes, quality videos, high quality videos do really well. High quality storytelling does a lot better. But with that sentiment, so many people have folded up, gone inside themselves, because they're thinking, this isn't good enough, this isn't great, this isn't that high quality bit of content that you want to do. People think that they should know how to do videos and it'd be fantastic from the get-go, and that isn't the case. If you want high quality videos, you've got to work hard at it, you've got to practice with it, you've got to learn how to edit, you've got to learn how to storytell, you've got to learn how to capture people's attention and keep people's attention. So yeah, that comment of quality over quantity isn't right. If you do more and more and more, practice more and more and more, review what you do more and more and more. Every time you release a video, check it, look at it, review it, judge it, criticize it, make it better next time. Then you will start getting the quality coming through. You will then see that your personality is shining through. You will then see that your confidence is getting better. You will then see that your storytelling is better. You will then see that everything you do will improve, because you've learned the skill of video creation. It's not learning a skill of filming. It's not learning a skill of editing. It's not learning a skill of script writing. It's the whole thing. Everything improves if you do it. And the way to do that is by doing it more and more often. And also, a crap film filmed on an iPhone, which has a good story, performs so much better than high quality, cut to perfection, beautiful photography, lighting, and all that stuff. That's not important if the story is rubbish, if the information is not good. Yeah, if you can tell a great story, then that's the winner. That's how you make great video content. Worry about everything else afterwards. Worry about improving your camera skills, learn that storytelling, learn that script writing, but learn how to embrace storytelling and how you tell it. Storytelling isn't just going once upon a time, it's this, that, the other, this happened, the end. Storytelling is the body language, the way you say stuff, the gaps that you leave, the dragging people in, moving closer and further away from the camera, the intensity that you supply, it's the fun that you have with it as well. Everything creates a story. It's not just going once upon a time, Goldilocks went to the Three Bears house, ate some food, the end. It's not that. It's the nuances that makes the story. And that's what you need to practice more than anything. And that's where real quality is. So there you have it. There's a few questions answered for you. So you found out a little bit more and see what I know. How did you find this kind of episode? Did you enjoy it? Would you think we should do more of these? Maybe Rachel will come on here and answer some questions as well. Love to hear your thoughts. So do give us a message, a comment. And also, if you have any questions for us, send them to me at ben@yourvideoteam.co.uk and we will see what we can do to answer them as well. Until then, that's it. Love ya. Bye.